In the first 9 days of December, Democrats have made very good progress on some of our largest priorities for the month. We successfully avoided a needless government shutdown. We cleared the path to address debt ceiling and avoid a default. And now we're close to passing an annual defense bill on a bipartisan basis, as we have done for decades. Last night, I filed cloture on NDAA, and for the information of my colleagues, we will vote early next week to move forward on this bill. Soon, we'll be able to turn to another crucial item on our December to-do list, passing Build Back Better in time for Christmas. We remain on schedule to bring this bill to the floor of the Senate before December 25th. Yesterday, 4 Senate committees released their titles of the Build Back Better Act, and the Congressional Budget Office released scores for those titles. More titles and scores are scheduled to be released this week. For the knowledge of all senators, the text and scores can be found online at the Senate Democrats and CBO websites, so it's available to everybody. Senate Democrats have also wrapped up all of our final meetings with the parliamentarian's office. Those are the meetings where just Democrats talk to the parliamentarian. The Republicans also get their chance alone. And now we anticipate that the bipartisan birdbath, where both sides are together and make their case to the parliamentarian and argue back and forth, we expect those to start next week. I want to thank the parliamentarian's office and all of our committee staff for working so hard this week to bring us to this point. For all the reasons we should pass Build Back Better, I want to talk about one in some detail this morning, extending the child tax credit. During the holiday season, American families are looking for every option to lower costs, make ends meet. So the best thing we can do is pass Build Back Better before some critical tax breaks from the American Rescue Plan, above all the child tax credit checks, come to premature end. That's one thing no American should want. COVID isn't over, and so these checks shouldn't lapse either. On the contrary, they should keep going. Roughly 35 million families will get their next $300 per child check in the mail on December 15th, and we need to assure that they'll get their checks in January, too, without any glitch. As a number of outlets have reported, families are at risk of seeing these checks end after December if we don't take action. So let's get this done. Let's pass and enact Build Back Better into law before Christmas, so families won't see their checks come to a halt in the coming months. And families, as they're doing their Christmas shopping, can be assured that new checks will be coming over the next year. For the tens of millions of families that have taken it out on the chin during COVID, an extra $300 per month per child can be the crucial extra cushion that helps parents stand on their own 2 feet. That's extra money to buy groceries, fill up the tank at the gas station, pay for diapers. These are not luxuries. These are not handouts. They're daily essentials that nobody should have to worry about in today's day and age. In an affluent society, no one should have to worry about these. And that's what these checks do. They bring a little more fairness into our economy. They say to poorer people, you too can have a chance, and more importantly, your children can have a chance. That's part of the American dream. Of course, Build Back Better will do more than that. It will, for example, provide the largest investments to date to fight climate change. I've been working with my colleagues for months to make sure our climate investments will be robust, effective, and will lay a foundation for us to keep taking action to fight the climate crisis here in Congress in the future. Climate change costs our country tens of billions of dollars every time that storms we used to label once in a century slam us. Build Back Better will help us address the climate crisis by lowering emissions, making our communities more resistant to disasters, and protect our planet for the next generation. Our work on Build Back Better will keep going until we get the job done. Finally, on student loans. Mr. President, as the year comes to an end, tens of millions of Americans face another looming deadline they cannot afford. Soon, the federal government's moratorium on student loan payments will expire, and payments are set to resume in February of next year. Yesterday, I joined with my colleagues, Senator Warren and Representative Presley, to call on the Biden administration to extend the pause on student loan payments. The pause expires in January. We've been paused because of COVID. It ought to be extended. COVID's not over. Students still have these huge burdens, and they're just readjusting to life where they may have missed school and or missed jobs or not gotten fully paid. So we need to certainly pause these payments. But we also urge the administration to take the next important step in granting borrowers relief by canceling student loan debt. As we keep recovering from COVID, as Americans are looking to cut costs and make ends meet, now is precisely the wrong time for us to allow this common-sense moratorium to end. According to one study, it could strip away more than $85 billion, $85 billion, from American families over the coming year. At a time like this, that just makes no sense. We should give student loan payers a break, keep the moratorium going. Should the moratorium be allowed to expire, the burden will fall heaviest on those who are least prepared to shoulder it, on low-income borrowers, borrowers of color, who typically take out more loans than white Americans and end up paying them back over a much longer time horizon. On the flip side, the President's decision to extend the moratorium over the course of the year was precisely the right thing to do. It's allowed borrowers to focus on saving up for these hard times, to save up for emergencies and pay down other forms of debt. We should keep it going. This is about taking one common-sense, easy step to save people's costs. It's about racial equality. It's about giving people more opportunities to build wealth and achieve the American dream. And the administration can do it on its own. We don't need any kind of congressional approval. We know how arduous those things are around here. And should the moratorium be extended, the administration should take further action to cancel up to $50,000 in student loan debt per borrower. Imagine, Mr. President, the economic activity we can see if tens of millions of Americans are suddenly freed from crushing student loan debt. They can buy homes, start a business, buy a car, help send their own kids to college. What a boon that would be for our country, especially at a time now when it's needed. For decades, higher education was considered a ladder up for tens of millions of people, for immigrants, people of color, working-class families. But today, it's an anchor weighing too many down. These Americans deserve relief, they deserve help, they deserve to have the moratorium extended and their student debt canceled. I yield the floor and note the absence of a quorum.
Without objection.